Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that will change the way you live. What you visualize, you can realize. And you don't have to wait forever. It can happen in just 3 days. See, we're not just dreamers, we're believers. And when a believer sees it on the inside, it's only a matter of time before it shows up on the outside. Some people call it faith, some call it the power of the mind, but I call it the proof that what you focus on, what you speak over your life, has to come to pass. Now, I'm not saying you wish for something once and it magically appears. No, I'm talking about intentional visualization, seeing it, feeling it, declaring it, and trusting that it's already on its way. Because when you get your thoughts lined up with your faith, miracles start moving. Don't be surprised when what you imagine shows up at your door. Don't act shocked when the opportunity, the breakthrough, the healing, the relationship, all of it comes right on time. Because you didn't just sit back and hope. You saw it, you spoke it, and you stood on it. You said, I can have it, and heaven said, yes, you can. There's a power within you that many people overlook. It's not physical strength. It's not even just intelligence. It's your ability to see with the eyes of faith. Before anything becomes a reality in your life, it first has to take shape in your mind. That's why visualization is not just imagination, it's spiritual alignment. It's your way of partnering with the promises that already belong to you. When you close your eyes and see yourself healed, whole, prosperous, in peace, what you're doing is declaring, this is where I'm headed. You may not see it around you yet, but by faith, you're drawing it into your experience. When we talk about visualization, we're not talking about daydreaming or wishful thinking. We're talking about a focused, deliberate decision to believe something before it happens. It's looking beyond your current circumstances and choosing to align with something greater. Visualization is a form of faith because it is the evidence of things not seen. The world says, I'll believe it when I see it, but faith says, I'll see it because I believe it. That shift in mindset is what opens doors, moves mountains, and accelerates blessings. You're not just imagining something, you're believing for it. Think about a builder who begins a new home. Before a single brick is laid, there's a blueprint, a clear vision, a detailed plan. That's how your life works too. If you don't take the time to visualize the life you desire, you're walking through construction without a plan. But when you visualize, when you create that blueprint of success, health, restoration, freedom, you're giving your faith something to work with. God doesn't bless vague wishes. He honors specific, bold, faithful vision. When you say, this is what I see for my life, you're sending a signal to your destiny. Get ready, something's about to happen. Sometimes people struggle with this because they've been trained to only believe what's real right now. They say, but look at my bank account, or you don't know what the doctor said, or this is just how life is for people like me. But visualization says, I may be here today, but I'm going there tomorrow. It doesn't deny the facts. It simply places greater weight on the truth of what's possible. Faith doesn't ignore reality, it overrides it. You can be in the middle of lack and still visualize abundance. You can be surrounded by dysfunction and still visualize peace. That's not crazy, that's faith. And here's the beautiful part. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. When you visualize something repeatedly with strong emotion and clarity, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. Suddenly, your actions, words, and habits start shifting to align with that vision. Doors open, people show up, favor finds you, not because you forced it, but because you believed it was already yours. That's why you don't need to wait for confirmation from the world around you. The confirmation comes the moment you say, I see it, I believe it, and it's on its way. Visualization builds expectation, and expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. When you wake up each day and spend just a few moments visualizing your goals, seeing yourself in the answer, standing in the breakthrough, you are preparing your spirit to receive. You're saying, I'm not just hoping something happens, I'm expecting it. That level of expectancy speeds things up. What others wait years for, you can receive in days because your faith is active. It's not passive. It's not timid. It's bold, courageous, and sure. You've seen it already, so now you're just walking into what's already been prepared for you. Let me remind you, if you've seen it in your spirit, it's because it was meant for you. That vision you keep having, that dream you can't shake, that goal that feels too big for you, it's not random, it's not a fantasy, it's a preview of what's to come. You didn't make it up. You were shown. And that, my friend, is what makes visualization such a powerful form of faith. It's not just you painting a picture, it's you partnering with heaven, believing that what's been revealed in your mind's eye is already available in your future. And every time you revisit that vision, you bring it one step closer. When we say, I always get what I visualize in just 3 days, it's not because we believe that everything in life works on a timer. It's not about trying to put pressure on the process. It's about setting a bold expectation. It's about putting a line in the sand and saying, I'm not pushing this into some distant future anymore. I believe it can happen now. 3 days isn't just about time, it's a statement of trust. It's you telling your doubt, your delay, your disappointment, you don't get to have the final word anymore. The number 3 has deep significance. All throughout history, it's shown up as a symbol of completion, power, and divine timing. On the 3rd day, things shift. Breakthroughs happen. Jesus rose on the 3rd day. Jonah came out of the belly of the fish on the 3rd day. Over and over again, something that looked dead came back to life on day 3. So when you declared in 3 days, I'll see what I visualize, you're aligning with the idea that sudden shifts are possible. You're stepping into a mindset that says God can turn it all around faster than I imagine. This kind of thinking makes people uncomfortable. It pushes back against the realistic mindset that says good things take time or don't get your hopes up. But here's the thing. Your breakthrough doesn't follow human schedules. Favor doesn't ask for permission. Miracles don't come through the front door. They show up suddenly in ways that defy logic. So when you say 3 days, you're not boxing in the blessing. You're just unlocking your boldness. You're choosing to expect something now instead of postponing it indefinitely. Too many people water down their faith because they don't want to be disappointed. They say things like, maybe someday, or I hope it happens eventually, but deep down, they're afraid to hope, afraid to believe again, afraid to be let down. But the problem with that mindset is this. When you play it safe with your faith, you miss out on the suddenlies. You miss the doors that could open this week. You miss the call that could change everything. You miss the moment that was designed just for you because you weren't expecting. Expectation is powerful. It changes your posture. It changes your language. It changes how you walk into a room. When you expect a blessing in 3 days, you stop complaining and start preparing. You stop dragging your feet and start standing in confidence. You speak differently. You pray differently. You walk like it's already done because in your heart you know it's on the way. That's what a declaration of belief does. It puts your faith on the clock, not because you're rushing God, but because you're ready for what's next. And hear me on this. Even if the thing you visualize doesn't show up in exactly 3 days, your faith will shift in those 3 days. Something in you will change. Something around you will move. Something will begin because bold faith never returns empty. It always produces. It always prepares the way. The moment you say, this is coming to me now, heaven starts making arrangements. People start being positioned. Resources start moving. Why? Because you believed it could. The 3-day mindset is not about desperation. It's about acceleration. It's about stepping into a dimension of faith where you don't beg, you believe. You don't chase, you expect. You don't say, I hope so. You say, watch this. That kind of confidence moves mountains. It silences the inner critic. It shakes off the fear. It brings clarity. It unlocks favor. And even more importantly, it honors God. Because nothing honors the source of your vision more than saying, I believe you can do this quickly. So don't just wait around hoping life changes someday. Start declaring, in 3 days, I'll see movement. In 3 days, something will shift. In 3 days, I'll have confirmation. Because even if the full manifestation hasn't arrived yet, your momentum will. And momentum creates miracles. God is not just about what you look at. It's about what you give energy to. And when you learn to focus intentionally, deliberately, with purpose and faith, you activate something powerful, acceleration. Most people don't realize that their lives are not shaped by the random things they wish for, but by the consistent thoughts they focus on. When you lock in on a vision and you feed it with daily attention, clarity, and emotion, you create momentum. And momentum is the engine of manifestation. See, the universe doesn't respond to scattered signals. God doesn't bless confusion. Life doesn't reward half-hearted belief. If one day you're saying, I believe I'm going to make it, and the next you're saying, maybe it's not for me, you're canceling out your own calling. But when you get focused, laser focused, you become a magnet for the outcome. It starts moving toward you because you're no longer double-minded. You're no longer distracted. Your energy is clean. Your path is clear, and manifestation can finally speed up. Let me put it this way. Imagine you're using a magnifying glass to catch sunlight. If you keep moving it, you'll never get a spark. But if you hold it still, just focus on one spot, that concentrated energy will ignite. That's how manifestation works. It's not about doing more, it's about focusing better. You don't need 10 goals this week. You need one clear vision, fueled with belief and focused thought, held in your mind long enough to catch fire. Intentional focus is what separates wishful thinking from faith-driven results. When you intentionally focus on what you want, not on what you fear, not on what went wrong, not on what people said, your spirit starts aligning with the outcome. Your prayers become clearer, your thoughts become sharper, you stop scrolling, comparing, doubting, and you start commanding your day. You say, this is what I'm creating, this is what I expect, this is what belongs to me. That kind of mental discipline is powerful. It's not about obsessing, it's about owning the vision. Here's the secret. You can't just think about the vision once and expect it to manifest. You've got to live in it, meditate on it, speak about it like it's already here, write it down, build routines around it, make decisions like it's real, because it is. Every time you act in alignment with the future you're visualizing, you're speeding it up. You're telling your subconscious, this isn't a fantasy, this is fact. And when your mind believes it's real, it starts attracting the people, the ideas, the timing, the favor that brings it into your life. Some people wonder why nothing ever changes for them. It's not that they don't want more. It's that they're not focused on more. They're distracted by what happened last year, what someone said last week, or what social media says today. But distraction is the enemy of destiny. You can't manifest what you're not focused on. You can't bring in a future you keep putting on the back shelf. If it matters to you, then it deserves your energy. It deserves your attention. It deserves your commitment. Think about it. When you were a child and you really wanted something, nothing could stop you. You talked about it. You dreamed about it. You drew pictures. You told everyone. That wasn't just innocence. That was pure focus. And you know what? A lot of times it worked. You got what you asked for because you weren't split in your belief. That childlike focus is still in you. You just have to dust it off and point it in the right direction. Let me remind you, you are always manifesting something. The question is, are you doing it on purpose? Are you intentionally choosing what your mind dwells on? Or are you letting fear, doubt, and negativity do the work for you? Because your mind is a powerful tool. But it can't tell the difference between faith and fear. It will manifest whatever you feed it. So feed it vision, feed it hope, feed it the outcome you want, not the outcome you fear. That's what intentional focus is all about. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every time you speak, you are planting something into your life. Whether you realize it or not, your future is being shaped by the words you're speaking today. When you say, I always get what I visualize, you're not just making a cute affirmation. You're activating a creative force. That's how powerful your voice is. It's not just describing your reality, it's creating it. The universe was spoken into existence. Creation didn't begin with action, it began with a word. Let there be light, and there was light. That's not just a poetic idea, it's a spiritual blueprint. If creation responds to words, then what you speak over your life holds tremendous power. Every word you say carries vibration, energy, and intention. So when you declare something with faith and clarity, you're not hoping. It's like pressing send on a message to your destiny. Too many people use their words to describe their pain instead of declaring their promise. They say, I'm tired, nothing's working out, I'll never catch a break. And without realizing it, they're reinforcing the very cycle they're trying to break. Words are containers. They carry faith or fear, hope or doubt, life or death. You don't get what you want, you get what you say. The atmosphere around you responds to what you speak consistently. And if your words are full of complaint, worry, and negativity, you're building a future you don't want. But here's the good news. You can flip that script. You can start using your words as a tool for transformation. You can declare things like, I'm in alignment. What I visualize is on its way. I am attracting the right opportunities. My breakthrough is in motion. These aren't just positive vibes. These are powerful, creative declarations. They cut through fear, they interrupt doubt, and they set things in motion. When your words match your vision, acceleration begins. Sometimes people hesitate to speak positively because they don't want to get their hopes up. But hope is your power. And speaking your hope aloud is how you release that power into the atmosphere. Think about this. Every time you speak something out loud, you hear it. Your body responds to it and your spirit aligns with it. Your words are programming your belief system. You can either build up your vision with life-giving language or tear it down with careless talk. But you can't do both. Intentional speech is a daily practice. It's not just about shouting affirmations in the mirror once a week. It's about consistently speaking in the direction of where you're going. When fear rises up, speak faith. When discouragement creeps in, speak strength. When things seem delayed, say, even now it's working in my favor. That kind of speech confuses the enemy. It disarms the lie. It activates your angels. And it declares to the universe, I'm not backing down. I know what's mine and I'm speaking it into existence. Your words are also creating alignment. When your mouth lines up with your mind and your heart, that's when rapid manifestation kicks in. A lot of people think things, even believe them in their heart, but they don't say it out loud. They keep their vision locked inside, but you've got to give it voice. There's something powerful about speaking it before you see it. That's not denial, that's dominion. Let's say, I'm not waiting for the evidence before I speak. I speak because I know the evidence is coming. Let me ask you, what are you speaking into your life today? Are your words pushing your vision forward or are they pulling it back? Are you using your voice to build or to block? Because one way or another, your words are doing something. Don't let your mouth cancel your miracle. Don't let your language limit your breakthrough. Instead, let your speech match your vision. Let your declarations be just as bold as your dreams. When you say, I always get what I visualize in just 3 days, say it with full conviction. Let it roll off your tongue like truth because it is. It's not enough to see the vision. You got to feel it. Emotion is the engine behind manifestation. You can visualize something with perfect clarity. You can say all the right affirmations. But if there's no emotional charge behind it, you're just going through the motions. Emotion is what gives your vision weight. It's what tells your spirit this matters. It's the spark that ignites your faith and turns belief into action. Have you ever noticed that the moments that shaped your life the most were the ones charged with strong emotion? Whether it was deep joy or deep pain, those experiences left a mark because of how they felt. That's how powerful emotion is. It burns things into your subconscious. Now imagine if you use that same emotional energy, not just to remember the past, but to create the future. When you feel your vision like it's already happened, when your body gets excited, your heart beats faster, and your spirit starts dancing, That's when your visualization becomes magnetic. This is why some people visualize and see no results. They're doing it like it's a chore. They say the words, they see the picture, but there's no fire in it. It's like putting a car in gear, but never stepping on the gas. Emotion is the gas. Joy, gratitude, expectancy, peace. These are high frequency emotions. They lift your vibration. They tell the universe, I'm ready to receive. They open the channel. When you visualize yourself succeeding, don't just watch it in your mind. Celebrate it. Smile. Breathe. Say thank you like the miracle already showed up. There's science behind this too. Your brain doesn't fully know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. When you combine a mental image with strong emotion, your subconscious starts treating it like a memory. And if it believes it's a memory, it starts looking for ways to repeat it. You begin to walk differently, think differently, speak differently. You start acting like the person who already has what you visualized. That's not pretending. That's preparing. Emotion is also how you push through resistance. Let's be honest. There are moments on the journey when doubt will whisper, this is too big for you. Or fear will say, what if it doesn't happen? In those moments, logic won't carry you through. But emotion will. That deep gut level knowing, that burning desire, that unwavering joy, that powerful gratitude, those are your weapons. When you feel it deeply, you won't quit easily. You'll keep going, even when there's no evidence yet, because your spirit has already tasted what's coming. And don't wait to feel good after the manifestation. That's backward. Feel it now. Stir up your joy now. Visualize it and let it move you. Let the excitement rise. Let the gratitude overflow. Say, thank you, God, that it's already done. Not because you're trying to fake it, but because your faith knows it's on the way. You're not reacting to your circumstances, you're responding to your calling. Emotion isn't just how you express the vision, it's how you activate it. This is why gratitude is such a powerful emotion in manifestation. When you thank God or the universe in advance, you're saying, I trust the outcome so much, I don't need to wait for the evidence. That's the kind of emotional energy that pulls miracles into your life. Gratitude shifts your entire state. It moves you from begging to believing, from hoping to receiving, from waiting to walking in it. That's why when you visualize, you don't just picture it, you praise it. Some people say, well, I'm not an emotional person. But that's not really true. Everyone feels. The key is to choose the emotion you feed into your vision. You don't have to cry or jump up and down. Just connect. Just care. Just get still enough to feel it. What would it feel like if this vision were your reality? What would peace feel like? What would abundance feel like? What would healing feel like? Sit with it, let it rise, let it flood your body. Because the emotion is what makes the vision real. Emotion creates belief. Belief creates behavior. And behavior brings results. So don't skip the fuel. Don't just picture it. Feel it. Feel it in your chest. Feel it in your bones. Feel it like the moment you get the call, the check, the healing, the open door. Feel it like it's already done. Because in the spiritual realm it is. Doubt is the silent thief of destiny. It doesn't always show up loud and obvious. Sometimes it slips in quietly, disguised as logic, as caution, as realism. It whispers things like, be careful. What if it doesn't work? Don't get too excited yet. And before you know it, your vision starts to slow down. Your excitement starts to fade. The thing you were believing for starts to feel far away again. Not because it is far, but because you stop expecting it. Let's get one thing straight. Your belief system is the delivery system for your life. Faith is what places the order. Doubt is what cancels it. You can't say, I always get what I visualize, and secretly carry the mindset that it's too good to be true. You've got to own it. You've got to claim it. You've got to believe so boldly that even when nothing in your situation agrees with you, your spirit still says, it's mine. Bold belief is more than just being hopeful. It's spiritual authority. It's saying, I know what I saw. I know what I felt. I know what was spoken over my life. It's choosing to trust even when the evidence is invisible. It's waking up every morning and declaring, I still believe. And when you do that, you become unstoppable. Because belief isn't passive, it's creative. It starts arranging things behind the scenes. It makes room. It builds bridges. It clears paths. Bold belief doesn't wait for the door. It speaks and the door appears. But doubt will keep you in neutral. Doubt will make you rehearse every reason why it won't happen for you. It will pull out your past failures and play them like a highlight reel. It will show you how long it's taking, how little has changed, how unlikely it seems. But you weren't called to be realistic. You were called to be radical. And radical people don't let doubt drive. They don't let fear write the narrative. They say, even now I believe. Even here I expect. Even in this, I know it's coming. Bold belief shifts your posture. You walk differently when you expect good news. You speak differently when you know you're favored. You show up differently when you believe the outcome is already set in your favor. People may not understand your confidence, but they're not supposed to. It's not about impressing others. It's about impressing your spirit with truth. Every time you say, this vision is mine, you're building spiritual muscle. You're training your soul to expect the best. Now hear this, bold belief is not blind faith. It's not ignoring reality. It's choosing a higher reality. It's choosing to believe that what's unseen is more powerful than what's seen. That's not delusion. That's dominion. That's what changes timelines. That's what bends circumstances. That's what causes miracles to manifest. God doesn't respond to begging, He responds to belief. The universe doesn't accelerate for doubt, it accelerates for certainty. When your belief becomes bold, your vision becomes inevitable. And here's the beautiful part. Belief can be trained. It's a muscle. Every time you choose faith over fear, you're making it stronger. Every time you override the doubt and say, I'm still on track, you're stretching your capacity. And as your belief expands, so does your manifestation power. You'll start to notice things showing up faster, people calling out of nowhere, resources landing in your lap, ideas coming in your dreams. That's not coincidence. That's belief delivering. You don't need to believe perfectly, you just need to believe consistently. Even if doubt tries to creep in, don't feed it. Don't water it with your words. Don't give it space in your heart. Instead, confront it with declarations. Say out loud, I refuse to doubt what God has promised me. Say, I trust the timing. I trust the process. I trust the outcome. The more you speak it, the more your mind accepts it. And the more your mind accepts it, the faster your life will reflect it. So stop asking if it's realistic. Start asking if it's aligned. Does it match the vision? Does it stir your soul? Does it make you sit up straighter? If the answer is yes, then believe it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Your belief is the driver of your destiny. Doubt is the detour. Faith is the freeway. Declare it. I'm not shrinking my vision to fit my doubt. I'm expanding my belief to match my vision. That's bold belief. And bold belief always delivers. The fastest way to delay a dream is to keep pushing it into the future. One day, eventually, when the time is right, these phrases sound harmless, even responsible, but they keep you waiting. They push your breakthrough further down the road. Because in the spirit realm, manifestation doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to completion. You have to see it as already done. You have to carry yourself like it's not coming, it's here. That's the secret all aligned, accelerated people understand. They don't wait for confirmation to believe. They believe, and that becomes the confirmation. They don't pray, visualize, and then sit back saying, I hope it works. No. They know it works. In the invisible, it's already sealed. In their mind and spirit, it's already done. And because they walk like it, talk like it, and think like it, the physical world has no choice but to catch up. Too many people are caught in a cycle of constant becoming. They're always on the way, always working toward it, always hoping. But when you stay in that energy, you never allow yourself to arrive. You're always the version of yourself who wants it, not the version who has it. And the law is clear. Like attracts like. So if you keep identifying as the one still waiting, you'll keep attracting more waiting. But when you shift your identity, when you become the person who already has it, everything changes. You start aligning with different thoughts, different actions, different outcomes. You don't hustle for it, you receive it. You don't beg for it, you expect it. You don't chase it, you embody it. Because now it's not just a future dream, it's your current reality on a slight time delay. And that changes how you show up. When you say, I always get what I visualize in just 3 days, that's not a wish, that's a statement of fact. That's a spiritual law you've chosen to live by. So when you visualize, you're not rehearsing a possibility, you're remembering what's already done. You're aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with something that already exists on a higher plane. And the more vividly you do this, the faster it collapses into the physical. Faith works in the now, not later, not next season, now. Hebrews 11:01 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Not someday faith, not wait and see faith, now faith. That means when you walk by faith, you walk like it's settled. You visualize like you've already received it. You pray like the answer has already arrived. You speak like you're giving thanks, not making requests. That's the frequency of the finished work. This is why so many people repeat affirmations and visualizations for months and still feel stuck. It's not what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. Deep down, they still think it's out there. They still believe it's almost theirs. But almost doesn't manifest, done manifests. When you know something is already yours, you don't check for it every 5 minutes. You don't wonder if it's working. You relax, you rejoice. You live like it already landed. And that living is what calls it in. So how do you live like it's done? You stop negotiating with your vision. You stop editing it based on circumstances. You stop waiting for the perfect sign before you feel permission to celebrate. You wake up and become that version of yourself. You step into the mindset, the habits, the joy, the confidence of someone who already received. You treat the present moment as the place where the miracle already lives, not as a waiting room, but as a delivery room. Here's the energy. You don't visualize and say, I hope this shows up. You say, this is already mine and I'm simply aligning with its arrival. When you live like it's already done, you stop overthinking, you stop controlling, you stop doubting the how and when. That kind of peace doesn't come from pretending, it comes from trusting. Trusting that your vision was not random. It was revealed to you because it's real to you. And now it's about embodying that truth every single day. Let me tell you, the world responds differently to someone who walks in completion. Doors open faster. People treat you with more respect. Opportunities seem to flow to you. That's not magic, it's alignment. You're not desperate and you're not waiting. You're not looking for signs. You are the sign. And when you carry that presence, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. So stop saying one day. Start saying this day. Stop saying I'm becoming. Start saying I am. Stop treating your vision like a stranger and start living with it like a roommate. It's already here. It's already done. Walk in it. Speak from it. Expect with boldness. Your job isn't to wonder if it's coming. Your job is to live like it's arrived. Dropping isn't just about time. It's about truth. It's about alignment. When everything within you is lined up, your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your faith, things don't just happen, they happen fast. Miracles don't drag their feet when you're in full agreement with them. That's why some breakthroughs seem to land overnight. It wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It was spiritual speed, the kind that comes when everything in you says yes. Now let's be clear, spiritual speed is not hustle. It's not striving. It's not pushing so hard that you exhaust yourself, trying to force a result. That kind of speed is anxious. It's fear-driven. It's based on the belief that if you don't make it happen, it won't happen. But spiritual speed is different. It flows. It's peaceful. It's powerful. It's built on the knowing that when I'm aligned, I don't chase, I attract. I don't force, I allow. I don't beg, I believe. Think about it like this. When a plane is perfectly aligned with the runway, it doesn't struggle to take off. It lifts. When a river flows through a straight channel, it doesn't slow down, it accelerates. That's how alignment works. It removes the friction. It clears the resistance. And once everything within you is pointed in the same direction, speed becomes natural. Things that used to take years start happening in days. The divine timeline overtakes the human one. That's why people say, I visualize, and it happened in 3 days. It's not because 3 days is magical. It's because alignment is powerful. 3 days of complete inner agreement can accomplish more than 3 years of scattered intention. When your thoughts believe it, your heart feels it, your words declare it, and your actions honor it, that's alignment. That's when heaven touches earth. That's when momentum kicks in. That's when the vision rushes into view. So the question isn't, why is it taking so long? The question is, where am I still divided? Because speed always follows clarity. If you're visualizing success but speaking doubt, if you're believing for love but carrying fear, if you're affirming abundance but expecting lack, you're split. And that split slows everything down, not because you're not worthy, not because it's not yours, but because confusion sends mixed signals, and mixed signals cause delay. But when you clean that up, when you get fully in agreement with what you've asked for, time becomes irrelevant. You could visualize today and receive tomorrow. You could pray tonight and walk into the answer by morning. That's not hype. That's how the spirit realm works. It doesn't move by clocks, it moves by congruence. And when you hit that frequency of faith, peace, gratitude, and certainty, nothing can stop what's meant for you. Nothing. Now, don't misunderstand. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's about agreement. You can still have human emotions. You can still have passing thoughts of fear or doubt. The key is not letting them take the lead. Don't let fear sit in the driver's seat. Let your faith do the steering. Let your spirit lead. Speak truth to your emotions. Declare the vision over your doubts. Remind yourself, I am already in possession of this blessing. I'm just aligning with its expression. The more consistent your alignment, the faster things move, and you'll start to feel it before you see it. You'll notice the peace. You'll feel the inner calm. You'll walk into a room and feel like you belong, even before anything changes. That's a sign you're in alignment. And when you're in that place, you don't just wait for the breakthrough, you embody it. You don't just look for signs, you become the sign. And that makes you magnetic to everything you've asked for. This is why you don't need to manipulate the timing. You don't have to constantly ask, when is it coming? That question comes from disconnection. When you're truly aligned, your focus isn't on the calendar. It's on the confirmation. And the confirmation is within. The peace, the expectancy, the confidence. Those are the green lights. Those are the indicators that speed is being released. When everything lines up in you, everything starts lining up for you. And the best part, you don't have to force that alignment. You flow into it through visualization, through gratitude, through speaking life over your vision, through letting go of what doesn't match your next level, through choosing peace over panic, through saying, I'm not becoming, I already am. Every time you return to that truth, you step back into the lane of spiritual speed. So don't be surprised when it shows up suddenly. Don't question the acceleration. Don't dilute the miracle by saying that was fast. Say, that was right on time. Say, this is what alignment looks like. Say, I expect divine speed because I walk in divine agreement. That's your new normal. That's your rhythm now. You've aligned your vision, your voice, your vibration, and now the world has no choice but to respond with velocity. Now listen, if you didn't hear anything else I said today, hear this. You are already in possession of everything you visualized. Not someday, not if, not hopefully. It's done. It's already been written in your spirit. The moment you saw it, felt it, believed it, that was the moment it was set into motion. The only thing left, alignment, agreement, activation. You're not waiting on the blessing. The blessing is waiting on you to recognize it, to agree with it, to live like it's already landed. And when you do that, when you walk, talk, think, speak, and move like it's already yours, you collapse time. You unlock divine speed. You step into that zone where the supernatural becomes your new standard. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't need validation. You don't need the odds to be in your favor. All you need is the bold belief that says, I always get what I visualize and I get it fast. That kind of belief, that kind of certainty, it creates momentum. It sends a signal to heaven, to the universe, to your own selves. This is who I am now. So today, make the decision. No more doubting, no more delaying, no more shrinking your vision to fit your past. You've seen it, now it's time to step into it. You've spoken it, now it's time to stand on it. You've imagined it, now it's time to live like it's real. This is your season of rapid realization. This is your time for spiritual speed. You are not just hoping anymore, you are receiving. You are not just wanting anymore, you are welcoming. You are not chasing. You're aligned.